Hey Goddess, Jules Wong here. Thank you so much for signing up for my brand new training, How Smart, Ambitious, Independent Women Just Like You Can Finally Attract True Love with a High Value Man. This is all even if you don't feel like there are any good, solid men left out there, or you think that you have to sacrifice your success or dumb yourself down in some way in order for a strong, supportive, secure man to show interest in you. Even if you think that, men are intimidated by your success, or if you feel like you're just too busy right now focusing on your career to even think about dating, I promise you that all I'm going to share with you is going to be for you. So let's dive in. I have been a coach for years, but first, I just want you to know why you should maybe listen to me, okay? I'm not a pop-up coach. I've been doing this for years. I actually left my profession as a successful hotel sales manager for Marriott years ago. More on that later, but I want you to see that it's not just me that's gotten results, okay? Ella says, I started to see changes very fast. The secrets shared in this program blew my mind. Today, I know I am worth so much more thanks to Jules. If you invest in yourself, others will want to invest in you even more. Amelia got engaged to the man of her dreams and said, through the program, I understand my worth and how to navigate healing and growth to set myself free to love. He proposed after we attended Mass. So sweet. Here I am in the middle there with some of the amazing femme-powered goddesses on one of our calls. Dana said, I can't say enough about the program. It has been such a gift from God to me. When you truly believe that you are the prize, even the confident men become a little uneasy. So true, Dana, because you become irresistible to them. You're like putty, you're right? They're like putty in your hands. Ashley had a boyfriend of 2 years who, was very inconsistent, and she was very much in love and wanted to get married, but he was dragging his feet. After applying these principles that I'm going to share with you today, he proposed and made all her love dreams come true. Okay. So even if you are in a relationship right now, but let's say it's not going the way you want, if he isn't committing or showing consistency, if you have a man, but you're struggling in your relationship and you want to listen to this. Okay. Oh, here's some more. That's Colette saying there that I've never, ever, ever felt more loved, adored, honored, and appreciated just by being me. What a fantastic, liberating, empowering journey. So, so happy. I'm going to show you, Goddess, exactly how to do this today. Even if you've tried therapy before, even if you've tried other programs before, these are all women just like you who tried it all. Therapy, books, femininity programs, other low-level courses, and are exhausted. These are women just like you who thought that they weren't worthy of a good, solid man who would devote to them, or that they thought that love wasn't in the cards for them, right? These are all women who found themselves in the same place you are now. So I promise you that by the end of this presentation, you are going to be very clear on how this can work for you. Okay, but first, I want to just set the tone for you, all right? Did you know that 49% of women choose career over their relationship, but only 39% of men do the same? So that means that more women are now choosing success over love. Okay, now I know you're probably thinking right now, damn straight, I'm not giving up my career for any old man who's just gonna come along, break my heart into a million pieces in the end anyway, right? I totally get it. Well, I'm going to share with you today how you get to have both, how you can absolutely have both. Yes, you can have both a successful and thriving career and a hot, passionate, loving, supportive relationship with a great man who will add to your value and not take from it. Okay. But see, here's the interesting thing. Women that choose success over relationships, it isn't because they have to. It isn't because they truly can't have both. So then why do they choose, right? It is because as high achieving women, and I am guilty of this, we often conclude that the reason we aren't succeeding, the reason we experience failed relationships over and over and over again and continuously strike out in dating, we conclude that our careers are the problem, that our independence is the problem, that we're too ambitious, we're too smart, we work too much, too hard, and men can't handle women like us, right? We think men are lazy, that they're just going to use us for our money, for sex, right? We don't think that we have the right to expect to have successful relationship if we choose to climb the ladder of success in our careers. We hear it all the time, right? Women have to choose love and family or a booming career, but that's not what we want. You don't want to have to choose. That's not what you came, that's not the experience you came here to have to choose. You want to have it all. I almost believe the same thing when I couldn't catch a break in my dating life, all right? Because the guys that were into me, I found that I didn't want them. But the ones that I did want were not into me, right? It was so frustrating and exhausting. And I honestly felt like giving up on dating. Then the more my spiritual journey deepened, I started to learn more about the law of attraction. I left my successful job in the hotel sales industry to start my own coaching business. I was getting really good at applying the principles I was learning in the law of attraction. So, to manifest many things in my life. So I wanted to teach others how to do the same. But the thing was, it wasn't working for me when it came to love. Then I started seeing things popping up in my world about goddess energy and feminine embodiment. I had no idea what the heck that was. So I attended a web class and heard so many stories about these amazing women just like me, using this sort of magical genius energy thing to attract amazing men. So I dove all the way in to learn more. And what happened the following 2 months blew my mind. That summer was so much fun because all of a sudden, all these men were popping up out of everywhere. I'm talking Starbucks, the laundromat, right? Airports, restaurants, real gentlemen I hadn't seen before, right? Buying me coffee, helping me with my bags. One amazing gentleman paid for my birthday dinner and sent over a bottle of lube just because he overheard me talking to the waiter in the restaurant that it was my birthday, right? I was drawing them out everywhere I went. Suddenly, I was dating men who weren't not only successful, ambitious, and driven, but they were also incredibly romantic. They were obsessed with me. And what's more, it wasn't just one man. It was two, it was three. I had options, all right? I was dating 4, 5 solid men, sometimes consistent, amazing men who adored me and wanted me and showed up consistently and showed it. All right, Goddess, I'm telling you this because I was just like you then, and I want you to know exactly what is possible if you understood what to do, okay? So I'm going to share 3 keys with you today to attracting your dream man right now that you don't know about. And even if you've spent thousands of dollars on a matchmaker, gone through all the therapy, tried all the elite dating apps and coaches and millionairematch.com and the league and elite singles, you haven't heard what I'm going to share with you. I promise you that. I know there are many dating coaches and advice givers out there, and therapists telling you all different kinds of things that are making you spin around in circles, but I'm going to tell you exactly how to make this so very simple, okay? As simple as possible. So get out a piece of paper and take plenty of notes because you are in the right place right now if you are a strong, independent go-getter who knows she's an amazing catch and you want to figure out how to have it all, right? You want to figure out how to have a successful career and success in love. You want to attract a successful, loving relationship that lasts, right? One that's full of hot passion, unconditional love, support, romance that never dies, unwavering emotional and physical intimacy with a great man, right? Not with any man, but a great man, a strong man, an ambitious man, an empowered man who's emotionally balanced, so important. A man who brings you flowers, buys you gifts, shows up consistently, is devoted to you, and gives you passion and romance like you dream of, right? You also want this for the long term, right? You don't want it just for the moment. You want your forever love, your life partner, your husband, if weddings are your thing, right? Maybe you have a man already too. Maybe you're married, but it's on the rocks and you want to salvage it, right? I'm going to show you a different way to do this, but you're definitely in the right place if what you want is to attract men into your life, that are amazing, empowered, masculine men, and you want to do it right now. Okay. Now, I left my marriage years ago in pursuit of spiritual growth and expansion, which I was unable to do with my husband, who was an amazing man. Don't get me wrong. This is us in our home one Christmas years ago before the split. I had always done like different Christmas decor theme every year and matched our PJs to the theme. This particular year was a black and white theme. But yeah, my ex, he was, very loving, caring, and on a lot of levels, we were very in sync, and he's still a great guy to this day. But we broke up because I was unable to grow and explore life the way that my soul yearned to do so without making him uncomfortable or hurting him. So I knew that the best thing to do was to walk away. That was no easy decision. by the way, trust me, because we have two amazingly gorgeous little kiddos together, as you see here, my noodle and my bunny. But it really came down to me staying the same, not changing, not growing, or making, or making him happy. Right. After living my life mostly to please others, I knew I could no longer do it. All right. And also because my brother sadly committed suicide at the age of 28, and being through that, I just couldn't bring myself to not live in my truth and really, live life to the fullest. I just could not do that. It did take me 3 years to make that decision though. So believe me, it was not easy. But what was easy though was moving on. One thing about me now is I attract love so easily and so very quickly, so much so that a lot of people were asking me how the hell I was, always finding these amazing men so easily and so effortlessly. And this isn't just like romantic relationships. I'm talking friendships. I'm talking even business relationships. Right? The kind of men that they didn't even believe existed. Amazing, high value men, right? Now I share this through my coaching business to help, many other women from all over the globe awaken their fierce love so they can all call in love effortlessly. All right. But let me tell you something. It really hasn't always been this way for me. Okay. When I left my marriage and started to succeed in my career as a hotel sales manager for Marriott Hotels, I was determined to crack the code on having it all. Because when I was with my husband, I was a stay-at-home mom and wife. But when I returned to working and then started dating again nearly after 17 years, it was a nightmare. It was like the Twilight Zone, the endless swiping on dating apps, the hundreds of dating apps, and everything was just so bizarre to me and also really freaking exhausting. But honestly, it would have all, been worth it if it was at least resulting in dates with quality men, right? Then all the pain would have been worth it, but it wasn't. The dates were so disappointing. On a lot of the dates, I avoided talking about work and what I do because I had this like fear that I was overqualified for a lot of the men that I was attracting because they weren't quite on my level, not intellectually, not financially, or emotionally. And as for the men who were, well, honestly, they weren't any better. Now, as a law of attraction coach, I know how to manifest anything, right? But none of my techniques were working to attract a successful and supportive man long term. Even when I did find someone promising, someone smart and successful, ambitious, it would fizzle out after about a few dates or a couple of months. The guys that made it past that threshold were all wrong. Okay. Nothing like I actually wanted. All right. They were non-committal, not serious, avoidant, inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, and just plain users. I made all the major mistakes as high achieving women make when we're dating. I have dated the ones that needed fixing, the projects, yes. The ones that weren't really into me and made it abundantly clear, but I ignored all the signs because, high achiever over here, I need to prove to you that I am worth it. And I need to, make you win me. I need to win you over, right? But a lot of the successful men that did come my way, like I said, were emotionally unavailable and even worse, super inconsistent. All right. Oh, and let's not forget the ones that we overinvest in and overgive to, which was a major mistake, I know now. But those are the kinds of things I was doing. I was going Dutch on dates. Like, yeah, let's split the bill. I'm a smart woman. I have my own money. I can pay. Like, no, I was buying men, things just so they would see my worth and like me, offering to drive to them. Now, I don't do any of this shit now, thankfully, but that's because, again, thankfully, I no longer attract such, low value, low vibe men. But I was overgiving a lot and, to men in the past because I felt like I had to work so hard to prove to them that I was worthy of their love over any other woman, right? Because that's how I succeed at work. You work hard. And then even with the high earning men that I was attracting, they weren't any better. I was unknowingly choosing men who were emotionally unavailable, who were avoidant, men who were married sometimes, but, claimed to be separated, yet still living together. And even men who had girlfriends and they would tell me and they said, oh, I'm just looking for fun. And I would go along with it, just because. What else are you going to do? What are the other options? So I began to really question if it could be true, if women actually can have it all, if high value, high achieving women could really find solid, successful men who don't find her success intimidating. And so I started to learn about feminine energy embodiment after attending a web class and hearing all about so many wonderful women just like me, just like you, using this magical power called the feminine energy in their dating life and attracting all these wonderful men that I couldn't believe, right? So I decided to give it a try. I knew I could because, I'm a smart woman. I'm deeply spiritual. I meditate. I consider myself very, very connected and tuned in. So I thought, oh, I got this. I could do this myself. I'm going to do it. So I read all the books. I did all the free courses and trainings and watched all the, YouTube videos about activating the feminine divine. But still, I wasn't getting any results. I went on dates to, practice everything I was learning, to practice the femme attraction tools, and I was still getting duds. So I decided to invest in a coach and a comprehensive course because doing it on my own was not working. Once I did, I'm telling you, it was almost an instant 180. Within a month, I was immediately attracting amazing, high value, high empowered masculine men, men who were balanced, men who were not only high earning, but healed, self-aware, and emotionally aware. Right? Men who were goal-oriented, men who took action, men who, took the lead in the courtship and courting me. No, not only were they devoted to me and my happiness and my personal and career growth, but they also took the lead in planning and organizing and initiating, contact and dates and incredible trips. And so you can imagine that means that all I had to do was get the right tools and guidance on my specific situation, and boom, that's what happened. I cracked the code. I unlocked the power to effortlessly attracting great men for the long term. And they began to pop up everywhere I went. After doing this work, I now know how healthy love is supposed to feel like. It's supposed to feel emotionally safe, accepting, supportive, nurturing, of growth, stable, and full of unbelievable romance. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. That's what you're going to learn on this presentation, is exactly how you can do the same for yourself. Okay. And the reason I tell you that story, like where it came from and how hard it was for me and how I broke through, is because honestly, Goddess, if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. Even if you don't live in a place where you feel you can meet great men, it doesn't matter. So many clients of this program have lived in the middle of nowhere, right? And still attracted their true love, still found their person, still had, incredible men popping up everywhere they went. And, these are all women just like you who came so very close to giving up on love, or had already given up on love before finding this training, right? They just needed the guidance. They just needed to know exactly how to do it. Okay. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but that's me, Jules. I am a certified law of attraction coach and a certified REBT mindset coach. I'm also an author, speaker, and spiritual guide. But before coaching, I was a high achieving hotel sales manager for over 5 years. I was born in Ghana, West Africa, but I grew up in the Bronx in New York City. I graduated magna cum laude from New York City Tech with a bachelor's in hospitality management. And I've worked with high achieving women in many industries in my career, including some of the top experts and some amazing celebrities that you might likely know, but I won't say their names here. Mostly they consult me now on how to, identify what they're doing wrong to repel strong, solid men, or how to, get their existing relationships back on track. Also, I've lived all over New York City, lived in Connecticut, all over Connecticut, lived in Virginia for a little bit, and soon I am moving to my second dream home in Arizona, right outside of Phoenix. I'm a mom of 2 amazing little angels, my baby girl, Riley Jewel, who's 11, and my hero, my little boy, Jade Albert, who just turned 7. I don't watch much television, but when I do, it's mostly reruns of my favorite shows on Netflix or HBO Max. It's either Friends or Veep. Those are the 2 you'll catch me watching most, but sometimes it's also the Vampire Diaries, White Collar, or The Good Place. And I love the color blush pink. If you can't tell already, I have pink everywhere. And I love makeup. Okay. So, yeah, I just honestly wanted you to get to know me a little bit. And I hope that I can get to know you as well after this training. All right. Now, but the expansion and crown of all my work centers around love, around self-love and true love attraction. The reason being that I am a big believer that love is what's most important in this universe. I think most of us can agree on that, right? And I believe that it is the most important work that I can do to awaken and bring more love into the world. This is why I do what I do, because I see so many women struggling with love, especially women like me who are driven, who are independent, who are ambitious. And this idea that women can't have it all, that women can't have success in their careers and success in their love, in their love lives, honestly really hurts my soul, because I know that we are made of love. Love is in your DNA, right? We are made in the image of God from source energy, which is pure love. God is love. Right? So how can we say that women don't have the right to expect to have successful, loving relationships and kick ass in the boardroom, all right? And run multiple businesses, all the while raising, little humans for some of us, right? It's so preposterous, these lies that we've been fed by society, and really the rules that have been perpetuated by wounded patriarchal leaders of our environments, right? It's absolutely ludicrous. This is why I'm so gosh darn passionate about helping amazing women just like you find success in love, because you absolutely can and deserve to have it all. Okay, baby? All right. So my goal for this masterclass is to teach you 3 keys. Key number 1 is how to attract a relationship with a high value man and make it last by cultivating balance between your feminine and masculine energies. So you're not spending hours swiping on dating apps or throwing tens of thousands of dollars away on a matchmaking service. All right. Key number 2, I'm going to share with you why you don't have to dumb yourself down or play small or sacrifice your success or give up your independence for a good, strong, successful, devoted man, a high value man to show interest in you. Okay. And 3, I'm going to share with you why you don't need to know where the heck your ideal guy is going to come from to attract him. Okay. So even if you have absolutely no idea where the heck he's going to come from, even if you think your dream man doesn't even exist at this point, or that all the good ones are taken, all that is irrelevant to finding success in love and making it last. And I'm going to share with you how. Okay. So I just want to give you a vision of what's possible. I'm going to expand what's possible for you. So come on a journey with me, on a juicy journey with me. Okay. So get in a comfortable, juicy position. And I want you to close your eyes and imagine this. Okay. What if you could feel completely desirable and magnetic to high quality men without trying hard to get their attention? Imagine if you suddenly went from being the woman who got ghosted and dumped to being the woman who has a high quality man chasing you and begging you for your time. All right, my love, what if you could effortlessly attract men that you like and have them going out of their way to claim you and have your commitment? Really, I want you to imagine having all the loving, glowing attention from the men you actually like or love. Okay, you are his muse and he can't get enough of you. Can you feel that? Right? What if you knew the secret to connecting with a man's heart so deeply and so profoundly that you would never wallow in self-doubt again? Okay, babe. Now, what if dating could be fun and men could be easy and predictable, and you can smile your way, to the relationship of your dreams and a lifetime of love and commitment, because he showers you with gifts and treats you like a queen that you are and deeply cherishes you. I want you to feel that love all in your heart. Feel that love in your heart right now and let it radiate all throughout your body and breathe it in deeply. Yes, that's what it's about, goddess. And you are entitled to that grand love. And I know that this is possible for you too, no matter what story you're telling yourself right now. Okay. And embodying the feminine energy is the fastest and most effective way to get this grand love, this true love, your soulmate. Because once you embrace the magic of the feminine energy, you will become a magnet for amazing, empowered, masculine men. If you're looking for one partner, don't be surprised if you have 3, 4, or 5 viable options banging down your door. Okay. And I want you to understand that unlocking and embodying this divine energy, instead of wasting your time and money on dating apps and low-level courses and TikTok advice and matchmakers, this is the fastest way. This is the only way to make it last in love with a good, strong, masculine man. All right. Now, my love, the fact that you're not attracting them right now does not mean that you're not worthy or deserving. It doesn't mean that you're doomed. Okay. It just means that you don't have the right tools and support in place. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. Okay. So key number one, how to attract a high value man and make it last by cultivating, a balance between your feminine and masculine energy so that, again, you're not spending hours swiping on all these dating apps or throwing money away at, a matchmaking service. Right? That's the old way. Here's what most dating and relationship coaches will tell you to do today. They'll tell you to fix your dating profile. That's what they'll tell you, that your dating profile is the reason why you're not finding great men. So of course you go ahead and you fix your dating profile. Why? Because, well, the competition is stiff, they say, right? There are well over 300 million people using dating apps worldwide. And that number continues to grow each year. So your relationship and dating coach says, yes, that's the main reason why you're not having success, is because, of the growing competition. So you need to do something to stand out. Right? But what does that tell you? That tells you that you're not enough as you are, doesn't it? Right? That you're not good enough and you need to write up or show a better version of you to get attention from a great man. Look, some of the world's most eligible bachelors are now using online dating sites and apps. So I'm not saying that dating sites aren't going to help you. But it's just this whole just fix your dating profile message, or, it's your dating profile that's the problem. It's saying, it's really saying that anyone whose personality or financial status or appearance is average will face some really stiff competition, right? This is a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for overwhelm and heartbreak. It's a recipe for wanting to quit and give up on love altogether, right? And it's also a recipe for further disintegration of your self-worth, especially when you have to write up a better version of yourself, right? In addition, there are literally hundreds of dating apps, which means you'll be swiping for hours and hours and hours before you even get a single match. I'm telling you that swiping on millionairematch.com Spark is literally the most exhausting thing. To this day, I think my carpal tunnel still acts up from all that swiping. And, the endless swiping honestly makes no sense because, on nearly every dating app, there are way more men than there are women. So there's literally no excuse why you're not finding a really great guy. Trust me, men are not that picky. Okay, great empowered men are actually the simplest men there are out there, right? So then why isn't this working for you? Even after following all the advice, even after fixing your dating profile, right? It all becomes extremely exhausting and painful on your wrist too. And, you get maxed out, right? No wonder so many amazing women choose, career over love. No wonder so many amazing women give up on dating and love altogether. It feels hopeless. Out there. It feels like, the men are too picky, and, not to mention you're exerting yourself, initiating contact, right? All that is energy being put out, right? And flirting nonstop. And then most of the time they lead absolutely nowhere. All right. This is the worst way to find love. Not, the dating apps again altogether, but simply by fixing your dating profile will get you duds. And I'm going to explain that in a second. Oh, and if you don't want to do all that work, you don't want to fill out all the multiple dating profiles across all the different apps and sites. If you don't want to do all that swiping and injure your wrist, then, the only choice it seems you have is either give up or hire a matchmaker, or spend 50K plus on a matchmaker to do all that work for you. The sun is setting here, so the lighting might change a little bit, but I hope it's not too terrible, right? And even still, even after you hire a matchmaker, you're still spending a lot of time reviewing profiles, initiating convos, virtually winking, flirting, and going on numerous dates to find this Mr. Right. And a lot of times, all you're hearing is crickets. All you're getting are duds. The men who seem decent either fizzle out or ghost on you. Right? Then you're right back to feeling hopeless. You're right back to feeling unwanted and not enough. right? You and I both know that you are an amazing catch, but month after month after month, you're doing all this work, right? You're making all this effort to show all these men what a great catch you are. And it just doesn't make sense that they either don't see it, or you're attracting guys who aren't who aren't worthy of an amazing catch like you. This is not the way to attract love. Okay, babe? This way does not work. Believe me, I tried it for you. So many women here have tried it for you. Okay, so here's the solution. Stop all the doing. Yes, stop all the effort. Stop going on dates. Just stop. The idea here is that you don't need to do all this efforting. Yes, I'm making up words. You don't need to be swiping your life away on dating apps or hire an expensive matchmaker. I know. You're probably like, okay, well, how the heck am I supposed to meet these men then? Let me tell you something. You can meet men. That's easy. Meeting men is so easy. You can meet men anywhere and everywhere. But do you just want to meet men, or do you want to meet the right men? Your right man. Yeah. If you want to meet the right kind of men, here's what you need to do. You need to embody your feminine energy around men. Now, before your ego and your resistance kicks in to reject this idea, let me explain. Okay. Whether you believe it or not, we are made of two parts. We have our physical and our non-physical, our soul, if you will, or the energetic self or the metaphysical self, whatever you want to call it, right? We should be operating using both parts of us with integration. However, many of us only operate from the physical, completely neglecting our energetic side or our soul. This means that a lot of us walking planet Earth are only operating with 50% of who we are, with 50% of our being, right? And therefore, we're only living up to 50% of our potential. That's up to, right? And that's if you even, fulfill that potential, right? Hence why a lot of people are unable to thrive in all areas of their life. Hence why my amazing, ambitious women can't find love. Because think about it. If you're operating with only 50% of who you are, can you ever fully live up to, your fullest potential, to 100% of what you can be? Can you ever achieve total success in all areas of your life, in health, wealth, relationship? Because those are like the three main areas, right? No, you can't. This is why so many of us are unbalanced. Some are thriving in relationship, but then they're broke as hell, right? And some have great health, but they're broke as hell and don't have good relationships. So it's either some are thriving in one or two categories and the other is suffering greatly. And we like to say, okay, well, you can't have it all, but you can. And I'm proof of that. And I'm telling you, you absolutely can. And, my high achieving women are mostly, kicking ass at work, but we can't find love. This is the result of failing to incorporate the non-physical or the energetic side of our being when we're creating, when we're attracting, when we're living, right? Now, when it comes to our energetic selves, there are two energies that live within us. There's the masculine and the feminine energy. This lives in all of us, men and women. Nature has women leading more from the feminine energy, right? And men naturally leading from mostly masculine. The feminine energy is a softer energy. It's the being energy. It's the creator energy. It's the relaxed energy. Hence why it is women who give birth. Think of it like the water in the ocean. Okay. The masculine energy is the doing energy. It's the structure. It's the doer. It's the, the acting, the planning, the leading, right? Think of it like the walls that hold up the water of the ocean. One cannot exist without the other. So we absolutely have both. What's happening, though, is that due to a lot of the wounds and struggles, inner struggles of women, not necessarily your struggles particularly, but it could be a lineage of struggles, we have a lot of women operating out of more masculine energy. This is the alpha female archetype, the CEO, the high achieving babe. You, my love, look, it's okay to be in your masculine energy. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing at all, okay? Masculine energy is very important. We need it. It's the energy that allows us to provide for and raise our children, to get jobs, to make money, okay? Masculine energy is very important and empowered energy, so don't think it's a bad thing to have, okay? Where we go wrong, though, is when we don't know how to switch it off when we don't need it, and that's in our relationships. We have a major imbalance. The feminine energy is being suppressed, and this is being done subconsciously. And the masculine energy is always in the dominant role, even in our relationships. This makes it very difficult, if not impossible, to be in a relationship, one that lasts long even, with a strong, ambitious man, the right kind of man, right? The kind of man we want, because he is also an alpha archetype and operating mostly in his masculine. So guys, understand that it's not that these men are intimidated by you. It's just that your energies aren't in balance. And when you're around a man like that, it's even more out of whack because you're both operating, from masculine energy. This is why it fizzles out and never gets started with men who seem like great potential. Also why you attract the lazier, unambitious men who are likely to use you up and dump you in the end. Okay, so here's the raw truth that many of us independent, amazing women may not want to swallow. Even though your masculine energy has served you very, very well at work and you have done phenomenal work, I'm here to tell you, babe, that it has greatly failed you in your relationships, okay? Because again, the mistake you've been making is bringing this kind of energy into your love life. The reason you're attracting the kind of men you are attracting is because you're leading with your masculine energy, even in your relationships. Now, if you desire to attract a strong, successful, ambitious, high value man, you've got to stop the leading. You've got to stop the initiating. You've got to stop the planning. You've got to stop, all the doing, all the effort and action that you're trying to do actually repels a strong, empowered man because he immediately senses that, he cannot be himself with you. You will challenge his role, his energy, his natural flow. You're going to kill his mojo, to be frank. Okay. Now, I know it may sound counterintuitive, but working hard for a man, working hard to get a man will get you nowhere with a good man, all right? Because you do not have to work so hard for love like we have worked so hard for success, all right? Dating is not an achievement that we have to conquer. And I had to learn this the hard way. You don't achieve a partner, you attract them, okay? The thing is, it's all about balance. You see, nature loves balance. This is why we inhale and exhale. You can't survive by just doing one, right? It's why there's lightness and darkness, yin, yang, good, bad, up, down, black, white. Duality exists for balance. Masculine, feminine are not exempt from this. No matter how much, the human race evolves and strays away from its natural ways, you cannot ignore this necessary balance. Okay, hell, ignoring it for so long is why you are here, isn't it? Right? And no one is more connected to the cycles and the ebbs and flows of nature than a woman is. Okay, so when a woman is out of balance, she actually encourages other energies around her to match her unbalanced state. So if you are leading with your masculine energy, one or two things is going to happen. One, the man around you will retreat to his feminine energy. This is where he becomes the passive, the lazy, the unambitious guy, right? Or two, you will repel him because you're challenging his masculinity with your masculine energy. Okay? So when you are with a man, you have to be able to switch off your masculine energy and switch on the feminine to create that balance. Because by balance, I don't mean by having an equal amount of each energy. I mean being able to discern when to use which, because it's all about that balance. It's not about letting go of your masculine energy. It's not about letting go of your work or choosing career over love or love over career. It's about balancing the two powerful energies that live within you. Again, so you're able to discern which energy is needed in which area of your life and when. To have a successful relationship with a man, and not just any man, but a healthy, balanced, masculine man, which is what we want. We don't want any wounded masculine men. In order to have that, you have to be able to switch on the feminine energy when you're in his company, right? Here's Sony. I just want to share with you a little bit about some clients who have had success really quickly after learning this. When Sony, with two eyes, that's what I always call her, when she came to the program, she had her goal of meeting her soulmate within 2 years. After bringing awareness to how she was showing up in her dating life, it became clear within one session, that she was, in her masculine energy a lot. She was doing the initiating. She was asking men out. She was planning dates and trips and offering to drive to them. Same mistakes I made, bringing them gifts, right? And this is all masculine energy doing behavior that will effectively repel strong, solid masculine men. Now, when Sony initially learned about this, she was very confused because in her experience, some of the men did respond very well to her gestures, right? And they appreciated it. However, when asked how long these men lasted, she instantly had a breakthrough because she quickly realized that even though there was an initial attraction, it did not last very long. So even though some men may respond to, the masculine energy gestures that women make, it will not build long-term attraction with an empowered masculine man. Once this clicked for Sony, her romantic life turned 180, just like mine did. Instead of chasing men, she was being chased. Men started asking her out. All right. She was suddenly the one getting flowers and chocolates on dates. Now she's in a loving relationship for 5 months with a wonderful man who treats her like gold, and marriage is absolutely in the cards because that's her thing. All right. Feminine energy is the key to bringing in your soulmate. Okay. So let me break it down for you. The old way is you have to do all these things you don't want to do, right? You have to be filling out all these dating profiles. You have to, maybe not one, not two, but 3, 4, or 5 profiles, right? Because there are all these different apps, all these different sites. And if you don't want to do all that work, then you have to spend $50K plus to hire a matchmaker to do all that work for you. Okay. So you're constantly going on dates though. They can't do that work for you. You still got to go on all of these dates to figure out who is a match, right? Many of them not making it past date number 1. The problem with this old way is that you're constantly in the doing mode. You're constantly doing, you're making all this effort. You're putting yourself out there. You're seeking, you're doing things like initiating convos, swiping, liking, a lot of doing. You're doing. And all that doing is bringing you the same result, right? Men that you're not compatible with, men that are not desirable by you, right? Nothing is changing. If you continue doing the same thing, what does Einstein say? You'll continue getting the same result. Definition of insanity. If every time you meet a guy from, let's say, Elite Singles or The League or millionairematch.com, it ends the same way, and then you go right back into the same sea to fish, what's going to happen? It's going to keep ending the same way. The best way is to understand how attraction works for men and women. It's virtually impossible to find a solid relationship in this day and age without understanding that piece. Okay, with the new way, that's no longer a problem because this new way, the chasing stops. You literally learn how men can become attracted to women and how women become attracted to men. You will no longer be out there trying so hard to find your dream man. The key here is you're going to stop all the doing, all the endless swiping, all the searching, all the going on numerous dates with men that you know are not the kind of men you want. And instead, you're going to be focused on being the kind of woman that these kind of men are attracted to. The good men, the emotionally balanced men, right? That's the kind of man we want. So you're going to be focused on being, focused on living more from your heart energy and not so much from your mind. You're just going to be leaning back and attracting your dream soulmate instead. This is the fastest. This is the easiest. This is the most effective way to attract, period. And again, I just want to reiterate, your masculine energy is not a bad thing here, okay? Because you are a bomb-ass babe. You are hardworking. You're a great person. You have an amazing, empowered, energy. You're a working professional, modern-day career woman who knows how to get shit done. There's nothing wrong with that. You have this incredibly powerful masculine energy that is solution-focused to help you plan and organize and take action and lead, right? And take care of business. Moving up in the ranks at work takes a lot of doing. It takes a lot of, masculine energy. That's my dog there. You're going to hear him because at night he likes to bark out the window. Yeah, and moving up the ranks at work has taken a lot of doing, a lot of masculine energy. You've channeled, your amazing empowered masculine energy that takes you to the top of your department, at top of your company, that makes you CEO, that makes you start and scale businesses and excel at whatever work that it is that you do, right? And while doing all that, you've had to put everything else in your life into remission, probably, right? When we're climbing the ladder of success, our love life is one of the big things that has to take a back seat. Well, it doesn't have to, but it's one of the big things that does take a back seat. But now you have done your duty at work. You've climbed that ladder and continue to climb. And now you want someone to share this beautiful life that you've created with, right? Now is the time to say yes to your love life. Now is the time to create that balance by calling in your soulmate, who I promise you is out there. Okay. But in order to attract him, you absolutely have to cultivate that balance between your feminine and masculine energies in order for your relationship to form in the first place, let alone thrive and last. Okay, so you must stop operating from your masculine energy with men. Otherwise, you will continue to repel the good ones and continue to attract the wrong ones, the lazy ones, the users, the passive men who don't take initiative, that you end up having to fix and take care of. Okay, once you do this, you will notice how effortlessly you attract the right kind of men. Now, I didn't mean that dating apps don't work, at all, or that you won't use them. But what will happen instead is you won't have to swipe for hours and hours and hours or go on a million dates. Maybe you'll swipe 3-4 times and you'll see that, like moth to a flame, all these great men are popping up on you out of nowhere, out of everywhere, I should say, healthy in their masculine. They're coming your way effortlessly because you are now a match to them. Once you activate and lean back in your feminine energy, you literally become a magnet. Okay, because this is the energy that nature gave you to call in a man. Okay, goddess, allow that to land for you. You don't have to do anything. Do you hear me? Okay, you literally just have to be you and effortlessly attract wonderful men. Like, I mean, are you ready for key number 2? I mean, am I blowing your mind right now? Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Isn't this exciting? You literally don't have to do anything. Like, do you feel yourself going like, oh my God, what if this is possible for me? Right? Okay, so key number 2, why you don't have to dumb yourself down or play small or sacrifice your success or give up your independence or become something you're not, you don't have to turn into someone else, okay, in order for a good, successful, devoted, high value man to be interested in you. Because I know what you're probably thinking right now. You think, well, Jules, that sounds all good and incredible and all, effortless attracting. Okay, but leaning back, ooh, that sounds like, I'm going to have to play small and dumb myself down or be meek in the presence of a masculine man, right? Like, I don't know about that. Fall into the background and sacrifice my independence. Okay. And I'm sure you're probably saying that's not who I am. Leaning back, I'm a take charge woman. I like to be in control. And this sounds like giving up control to the man. We're going back to the 50s. We're going back to the 40s. Listen, the answer is a big fat no. The feminine energy that lives in us is not about being weak or playing small. It's not about minimizing yourself as a strong, independent woman. Rather, it's about creating a healthy balance between the two energies that live in you, in which nature intended for men and women to live in. Let's break this down, okay? Romance and sexual attraction is needed in a relationship. Like, no relationship can survive without it. Well, there are plenty of relationships, I'm sure, that are lasting without romance and sexual attraction, but who wants that? Right? We don't just want a lasting relationship because, well, just because a relationship has lasted long doesn't mean it's healthy, doesn't mean it's thriving, doesn't mean, either partners are happy, right? We want a lasting, loving relationship, one that we can grow and thrive in, right? But in order to have that, we need romance and sexual attraction. Okay. But what creates that attraction? What creates that chemistry? It's the presence of polarity, the presence of two polar opposite energies. What does that mean? It means that in order for there to be romantic attraction, in order for there to be physical intimacy and desire in a relationship, polarity needs to exist. Okay? There has to be an opposing energy, masculine, to pull the other in, feminine, or the other way around. When people say opposites attract, that's not referring to opposite personalities, which is what, we've graduated to think. No, it's referring to opposite energies, masculine, feminine. If you want a strong, empowered masculine man, you got to lean into your feminine, okay, in order to draw him in. It's literally going to work like magnets. This is nature. This is science, okay? So if you have a masculine man, he will, without a doubt, be drawn more towards a feminine woman than he would to a woman who exudes more masculine energy. And again, this is not woo-woo or spirituality. This is science. So leaning back into your feminine energy simply means that you stop the leading, you stop the chasing, you stop all the effort, okay? You stop the efforting, and instead you allow your masculine man to play his role, to do what nature intended him to do, which is to chase, to lead, okay, to plan, to organize, okay? He is the doer, okay? Your role as a feminine goddess, which is exactly what you are a goddess. When you literally activate this energy, you will glow. It's not even funny, okay? You will be a goddess, and your role as a feminine goddess is to create space for your masculine man, for your masculine king to lean into. So when you lean back, I have a pillow here, so I have space behind me. When you lean back, you create space for him to lean into you. But I'm only talking about in your relationship, okay? Because this is where all the not sacrificing your work or your success, not dumbing yourself down comes in. You are only doing this in your relationship. At work, you can do all the leaning in, all the leading, all the planning, all of that. You can do all of that that's required at work. But when it comes to your love life, you must lean back and focus on being. And by leaning back, you're not submitting, okay? You're surrendering. There's a massive difference. Surrendering is empowering, while submission is more demeaning, all right? Because the old ways was submitting to a man, which is, what happened in the 40s and the 50s, right? That's not what we're talking about here. It was done very powerlessly. It was unconscious, right? The woman is not in control, right? It was her way of surviving. Having a man to take care of her was out of need, not want or desire. There's no polarity that exists there. Both of these partners are wounded. It's not a healthy masculine. It's not an empowered feminine. No attraction, just two wounded people making it work out of need and, societal control and expectations, right? Now, what we're talking about here is surrendering. That's very conscious, right? That's very powerful. In fact, a healed feminine has a lot of power over men. It's a very subtle power. It's a beautiful power. When you surrender, you are trusting the energies to flow freely as they choose to, with healed and empowered feminine and healed and empowered masculine. When you submit, however, you are giving up power for the other to control you. A masculine man who is healthy, right, and not wounded will never seek to control his feminine woman because he doesn't need to, okay? And I'll repeat that. A healthy masculine man who is self-aware and fully empowered will never seek to control his feminine woman. Instead, he's going to create a trusting space for her to lean back and surrender in. Think of it like this. The masculine is going to build, your masculine man is going to build you the house. I'm talking about energies here. So your masculine energy man is going to build you this big old house for you to just come home from work and surrender in. Okay. So your masculine is the structure, and you come in, he's built a safe space, and you can come in and surrender and just be a woman. You don't have to be a boss. You don't have to control and lead and plan and exert all this energy. You've done that out there. Okay. When you come into your relationship, and your relationship should be a place of peace, not a place of hard work. When you come into your relationship, you leave all that gunk out there. You come into your relationship to exhale. Okay. So leaning back into your feminine actually allows you to be true to who you really are meant to be. And you do the same for your man, because he is meant to be in his masculine energy, mostly. So you are allowing him to be his true self. His natural masculinity will show. This actually provides more balance between the two of you. It allows you both to be who you are freely. A woman is able to relax freely into a woman who's able to relax freely into her feminine power is a very, very powerful woman. And being truly authentic means that your man will support you even more when he is free to live in his dominating energy in the masculine. Okay, he will support you even more. He will provide even more. He will contribute in all areas, not just financially. A man fully embracing his masculine will not have a problem helping out with chores or cooking or cleaning or helping with the kids. Okay, because it's all energy. It has absolutely nothing to do with gender stereotypes or roles or looks. Okay, because people tend to think that being feminine means putting on dresses and heels, putting on a pretty dress and high heels and makeup. And look, you can wear the girliest dress and the highest heels, but if you are exuding masculine energy, if you are doing a lot of leading in your dating life and your relationship, you will not attract an empowered masculine man for the long term. Okay, I don't care how much you spend on the dress. I don't care how much makeup you put on your face. Energy is more important. Energy is more potent. Energy is more effective at attracting. Okay, feminine energy is what makes you a keeper, not your looks, not your career, not your accomplishments, not your personality. It's your energy. It's the confidence and the sovereignty of feminine energy that keeps men around. Okay, now in order to lean back with power, you must identify and heal, your deep traumas and triggers. Okay, because we don't want to lean back in our wounded feminine. Okay, all the wounds that have been formed to suppress the feminine energy has to be uncovered and released. Okay, because this is really at the core of why you are attracting the partners that you are currently attracting. Because relationships hold up a mirror for ourselves. They show us the things in us that we need to heal. Okay, so when you experience bad relationship, it's important to look at them differently if you want to be, a healed and empowered feminine goddess. You must begin to see your relationships and dating experiences as mirrors. These triggers, the things that trigger you in other people, are shadows that need to heal in you. So if you find yourself attracting toxic relationships, remember from now on that it is only because of how you feel on the inside. It has nothing to do with your luck. It has nothing to do with your looks or how many right boxes you check off on paper or how great your dating profile looks. If you are harboring some blocks and traumas internally, you will always attract partners that will trigger them because they need to heal. So whenever you get triggered, look at that as a good thing. Triggers are a message that something in you needs healing, and it has nothing to do with the other person who did the triggering. Okay, because it's so easy for us to just point the finger like he did this to me, she did that to me, and that's why I feel this way. But once you're triggered, understand that this trigger is your body saying, let's pay attention to what's going on in here. All right, and let's heal that. Okay, when you work on your triggers, men will respond to you differently. They will start to respond to you differently. Once you embrace this healing, you're going to just naturally attract better men. Okay, and it's that simple. You will begin to call in men who are also healed, who are also balanced, who are also healthily leading in their natural dominant energy. So you see, you will actually be stepping, more into who you really are. Right? And who you're really meant to be. And you're not becoming something you're not. Who you are now is you being something you're not. You're not meant to live dominantly from your masculine energy. You are meant to live dominantly from your feminine energy and cultivate that balance and know when to use either. So if you're operating mostly from your dominant energy, that's not who you are. Okay? So embracing and cultivating that balance is going to make you more of who you're actually meant to be. You're not meant to live a life of, emotional, with all these emotional traumas and triggers. You're meant to heal from them so you can grow and become your highest, most powerful version of yourself, fully embodying all your energies in harmony. This is the way to do that, reconnecting with the feminine divine power, which already lives inside of you. We're not going out there to get it, right? No one is bringing it to you, okay? You are reactivating, reconnecting with something that already lives in you, okay? You're not turning yourself into something else. You're simply remembering all that you are. All right. Now, when Nidhi joined the program, she was a successful engineer for a cloud tech firm. She still is, who used to believe that men were intimidated by her success and that they were complete douchebags. She said, it wasn't easy for me to give up control and lean into my feminine energy at first, but once you realize the power of softness and strong boundaries, you experience miraculous results. My fiance treats me like a queen. I thank God for my sister for bringing Jules into my life. I have everything I ever wanted, and I plan to go into Jules's relationship programs next to forever sustain that beautiful love I have attracted. And this is what's going to happen, babe. Once you lean back, it will be that effortless. Take a look. This is Yvonne. The modules that gave me the biggest insights are the ones on intimacy fears, feminine energy, and also understanding men. I have always been leading in my masculine energy, so I'm implementing the tools taught by Jules. And I now feel more peaceful, less anxious, more empowered, and more confident in identifying healthy masculine men, and also have better relationships, not just with men I date, but with men in my family, among my friends and colleagues too. This program really is a gem, and it's totally worth investing in. Jerica says, like a lot of us, I was raised to cultivate my masculine energy and do in all aspects of my life, work, home, love. Doing Jules's work made me realize to my core that just because I can do it all doesn't mean I have to or should. I am now in a long-term relationship and everything is completely different. My man cherishes and adores me, and I lean back like the goddess I am. Yes, SLA has really helped me get started with him right. Jules delivers, and it really will change your life. Dive in. And Nelly, old school dating, 7 months courting by the gentleman feels amazing and super easy. Healthy men like to please us ladies. Yes, they do. They lead, they initiate, they plan dates, and I feel so special and adored. Inner work, and I manifested my dreams and desires. It's only a start. Yes, it is, honey. Amelia joined the program because she was getting a lot of attention from men, but none would commit to her. She says, my love life before SLA was sad. I was weeping that I will always be alone, but Jules pointed out my money blocks and how I was lying to myself about not being able to afford this program from fear of disappointment. Now, 8 months later, I am engaged to a man who supports me more than I would have ever imagined. He loves all of me. He has relocated for me and is commuting every day for his job just to be closer to me. My whole life turned around. I got the motivation to go for an amazing high-paying job, and I fulfilled my lifelong dream of owning and caring for a horse. SLA helps you become the best version of yourself. It is totally worth the investment. Okay, these are the kinds of results you'll experience, and it's totally doable for every woman. This is achieving that total harmony I talked about before with your soul and your body, so you can succeed in all areas of your life, not just your love life. Okay, are you hearing this? Are you getting this? Because I'm transmitting something to you, babe. This is effortless manifestation, and it is so real. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to key number 3. Why you don't need to know where the heck your ideal man is going to come from to attract him. So even if you have absolutely no friggin' idea where the hell he's going to come from, even if you think your dream man doesn't even exist at this moment, right? Or that all the good ones are already taken and there's no more left, all that is irrelevant to finding success in love and making it last. Because I know that's what you're probably thinking right now. Okay, Jules, sounds great. I'm going to balance my masculine and feminine energies. Yes. And I understand, I'm not going to be dumbing myself down. I have to heal my traumas. Great. But where's he going to come from? There aren't any good men left. Men like that don't exist anymore. And I totally get it. Okay. Because you've been out there. You've been out here looking. You've been out here trying. You've been looking high and low under every rock, right? What, is he just going to appear out of thin air? Well, here's the thing. Yes, he is. And also, no, he's not. Okay. You see, he does exist, but in a way, he doesn't. Not to you anyway, because you don't believe he exists. Yeah. See, you can't find what you don't think is out there, can you? You see, it is your self-defeating beliefs like, oh, men like that don't exist anymore, or that all the good ones are taken, that keep you from finding them. So identifying and releasing limiting beliefs like those is key to attracting that strong, supportive, devoted man that you dream of. Okay. And you do this simply by changing your mindset. You change your mind, you change your life. It's that simple. You have to change your mindset and release these self-defeating beliefs that aren't serving you here, babe. Okay? Having limiting beliefs that all the good ones are taken, or that he doesn't exist, or that there are no more good men left, will make it impossible for you to attract a quality masculine man, because our beliefs become our reality. So if in your mind, it is really true for you that there are no good men out there left, if that's really true for you, how can you find one? Also, why bother looking, right? Why go on dates? Why continue putting yourself out there and doing all these things to keep looking for one? You're going to go out there with the belief that he doesn't exist, yet you're still looking for him. What kind of energy is that? How can you find him with that kind of energy? You're going out there with the energy that he doesn't exist, yet you expect to find him, right? Also, so why bother, right? See, you won't ever find one if you keep beliefs like these, because it's really just a self-fulfilling prophecy that you're creating, because your reality will always look for ways to prove your beliefs to you. So if you continue to hang on to the belief that he doesn't exist, or that all the good ones are taken, or that, there are no more good men left, that will continue to be your reality, right? It's like your own personal lens that you see the world through. It's a filter. You don't see him because you have that filter, that belief, right? But is it a fact? Is it a fact that all the good ones are taken, that there are no more good men left? No, it's not fact. All the good men are not taken. There are plenty of women getting engaged and married every single day without fail. An average of 60 million couples get married every year in the US alone. Okay. If there were no more good men left out there, marriages won't be continuing to happen, let alone 62 million of them in 2020 alone. Now, is every marriage a great marriage? That's a different subject for a different kind of, conversation. But okay, fine. Let's say 10% of the 60 mil aren't great, right? They're shitty marriages. They were mistakes. They're drunken marriage, whatever, douchebags. That's still 50 plus million couples, or 100 plus million people every year finding each other, finding their soulmate, committing to forever. Okay, so instead of continuing to tell yourself this false story that there are no good men left, all the good ones are taken, a man like that doesn't exist, begin to remind yourself that it isn't true, because other women find amazing men every single day. Just listen to what Sophie says. Too many suitors to count. It's raining men right now. From dating apps to men stopping me and asking me out in the streets of New York City, sending me red roses to thank me after dates of the wonderful time they had with me. I feel like this world is my kingdom and my reign has only just begun. I'm having such a blast, so much fun. Yay to life and all the wonderful men out there. See? They are out there. You need to change your mind about them. Until you do, there will continue to be no more good men out there. Remember, your current thinking got you here. Your current beliefs got you here. And if here isn't where you want to be, and I'm guessing it's not, or you wouldn't be on this training, then you got to change your thinking. You got to release these old beliefs that don't align with what you want and adopt new ones that are in alignment with what you desire. You have to believe that great men exist and that they're out there in order to attract one, because you damn sure deserve to, babe. Okay. Once you start believing it, once you know that good single men are out there, I'm telling you, you're going to start to see more of them. It's like when you first get glasses. I don't know if this has ever happened to any of you, but when you first get glasses and suddenly you notice all the people who have them, or when you get it like a different kind of car, you get a new car and you notice everyone else who drives that car, they didn't just get that car, or they didn't just get glasses the same day you got it. They were always there. You just weren't conscious of them because you weren't aware. Okay, so yeah, he will appear out of nowhere, but no, He won't, because he was always there. You just weren't conscious of him. So changing your beliefs, releasing these all, self-limiting beliefs, is really taking off that filter so you can see him, so you can see them. All right. Yeah. So, all right, here's what we do in SLA. I'm just going to tell you. Okay. My purpose is to help you get in touch with your feminine side so you can become aware of how much power and influence you truly do have over men just by being a woman. All right. And by becoming aware of this power, you can break toxic relationship patterns that make you choose the same kind of undesirable men over and over and over again so that you can attract a healthy relationship. Okay. In SLA, you can expect to break through your intimacy blocks and understand why and how you repel good men and how to stop. You're going to go from receiving scant attention from men to being the object of every high caliber man's affection. All right. You're going to learn how to embody the power of the feminine energy in your dating and relationship and become incredibly alluring to high value men. You're going to awaken your inner confidence, and so that you can feel like the prize in love and around men. All right. You're going to go from the serial overgiver, like I was, to the receiving goddess you were meant to be. You're going to have many choices in dating and love, so you can choose the best man on your terms and in the way that feels best for you. Okay. You can also expect to find total emotional balance and be a high value man's muse and his peace. Okay. Instead of being constantly getting emotionally triggered from irrational thinking. Okay. I truly believe that this is healing that every woman needs to do. It is time to step into your power, the power that is lying right inside of you. My goal is solely to help you unleash this power so you can thrive on all levels, find success in love, build more wealth, improve your health, integrate your whole being, spiritual, mind, body, physical, spiritual, so you can achieve all that you dream of and live up to your fullest potential. Okay. Melanie said, anyone who is on the fence about working with Jules, about the cost and whether it's achievable, it's worth it. This work is the best I've come across to address one's core need of self-love, acceptance, and healing. And Ratuja, I joined SLA not necessarily to attract my soulmate, but because I was so ready to transform and become a goddess in my everyday work and life. The program is so focused on you and healing yourself. This program is for you if you are ready to dive deep and become the woman that you always dreamed of. Okay. And Lauren, right? She said, OMG, I don't know how Jules does it, but she is just so spot on with her intuition and her teachings. I have only finished module 1, but I have so much clarity on the soulmate manifestation process now. So if this one module has brought me so much clarity and joy and power for myself, then I can't wait to see what the whole program does to me once I am finished. To all goddesses who want to do the real inner work, get Soul Love Alchemy. Oh, here's more. Leah said, SLA literally changed my life. It changed my vibe around not just dating and men, but my friendships and clients, and even how I parent my 3 boys. She's raising 3 healthy masculine boys. Yes, I feel so much more open and comfortable. I feel safe with myself. I trust my intuition. I feel so grateful I invested in myself. Thank you, Jules. And Gabriella said, I want to tell you from my personal experience and from the bottom of my heart, do it. It's a phenomenal program. It is about empowerment and about transformation. I was expecting a lot of to-dos when I joined the program, but I am amazed on how I don't actually have to do anything, just to rediscover and allow my femininity to rise. So liberating. It has changed me 180 degrees on how I handle and experience relationships. This stuff works, ladies. Just do it. You will be very happy. I promise you that. All right, babe, I know this process is going to work for you. And ladies, this is not just a woo-woo program, okay? It's not just mindset and just spiritual stuff, okay? Yes, we do all that stuff in the program, but it is actual, real, concrete principles and tools that you can apply so that you can get real results with the kind of men that you truly desire. And I want to show you exactly how to do this, and you can create this for yourself. My hope is that you leave this time we have together and you think, There has to be a better way. And I know that this is the better way. I showed you 3 keys today to attracting a lasting, loving relationship with a great man, with the man of your dreams. Key number 1, I showed you why you don't need to continue swiping your life away on dating apps or hire an expensive matchmaker to make it happen. Instead, you got to work on activating your femme goddess energy to make yourself attractive to strong, secure men. I showed you key number 2, how leaning into your femme energy does not make you weak or mean you have to play small, but rather creates sexy polarity and empowers you to be a vibrational match to an empowered man, healthily leading in his natural masculinity. And I showed you key number 3, how releasing old limiting beliefs and changing your mindset about the way you think and what you believe about yourself and about men and about relationships in general will help you attract better. The question now is, do you think you can do this? Okay, because what it really requires is for you to leave behind this archetype of struggle and victimhood. Okay, the choice to struggle in love and leave behind overworking to get a man, and finally decide that you believe in yourself enough to take the high-end route. Now, you could try to figure this out on your own. Think about where you are now and where you want to be and how to get there, which is totally fine if you do. And honestly, I won't be surprised by it because that's a very masculine thing to do, that I'm gonna do it all myself attitude, right? But that's why you're here, babe, okay? Leading too much in your masculine. So yeah, but I totally get it. I totally get that I'm gonna push through it and struggle energy and do it all myself. But you don't have to. You don't have to struggle anymore, my love. You don't have to push through it alone. You can do the smart thing. You can get the support you need and make it so much easier, so much faster, than you ever thought it would be. And learn the proven process from someone who's actually done it, someone who's doing it. And in my experience, smart women ask for help. I do the same. I'm continuously investing in myself and my growth. I have a team of coaches, mindset coach, business coaches, life coach, energy coach. So don't struggle on your own, babe. Okay. So I want to give you a rough timeline for results, for client results, what happens in the 12 weeks of Soul Love Alchemy. Here's the truth. I'm not guaranteeing that in 3 months you will meet and marry your soulmate, although many clients have with this process. But what I am promising you is that if you're a smart, genuine woman who is willing to put in the work to face your fears and learn the relationship skills that work with healed masculine men, then this process will without a doubt help you achieve the result your soul desires, whether it's just to grow personally or to attract the amazing man of your dreams. Okay? So if this sounds like you and you want to quantum leap your love life, like you're deciding that now is the time to learn the skills to succeed at love. Like, that's your goal for the next 6 to 12 months, is you want to be on track to creating the dream love life you desire, then this is a really good fit for you to book a success in love session with me today. Because over the next 5 days, I've actually set aside some time to talk to you and see if I can help. And I'll be totally honest, if I can help you, awesome. If I can't, I'll show you some other resources that can help you. Okay. Because here's the truth. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay. You already have everything you need to make this happen for yourself right in here. You're just missing the tools to unlock that power that you have inside of you. Okay. Once you learn that, you will succeed. So stop leaving your love life to fate or to chance. Take it into your own hands and start turning it around today. Okay. Now on the call, we'll talk roughly for about 45 minutes about where you are now and what your grand vision is that you see for your love life. And we'll map out your own success in life plan for you to follow so that you can achieve your dream love life. The process I lay out for you is very simple. The clients that you saw today, my love, are extraordinary. And as I know that you are too, the women who are called to me are not average. Okay. The work of becoming who you're actually meant to be is work that very, very, very few people do. But this is the route that is the fast track. This is the quantum leap track. Okay. It's for the woman who's like, I am meant to have great success and experience epic love. And I am brave and I am courageous and I will invest to get that to that next level of success in all areas of my life. And I want to be that feminine goddess that men fawn over. Honestly, if you're not serious about calling in your true love, if you're like nowhere, you're not where you desire in other areas of your life, you know, you have no clue what you're doing right now or why you're doing it, and every day there's some major problem for you or drama, it's probably best to sort out those problems first before committing to a program like this. This may not be the path for you just yet, because this is the elite path. This is the next level path. Okay. So this is for you if you're currently doing well, you know, for yourself in other areas of your life, but can't seem to figure out the love piece. Okay. Jenny's story. She said, I got engaged 11 months after SLA. When one of my quantum daters became my fiance, I felt so touched and ugly cried so much it ruined my makeup. I can't thank Jules enough for her guidance and her teachings. I feel so grateful for finding my soulmate. And more importantly, I'm grateful for the person I am and I'm becoming through this work. Phoebe's story. 8 months into the program, I found myself in the most beautiful and healthiest relationship I ever had. He gives my daughter the same adoration. Okay, my heart is beyond grateful, and I'm showing her the kind of man that a woman should be looking for. I would like to tell single moms and ladies out there that this is possible. If I'm able to turn my love life around, then you can too. Your soulmate is already here if you believe it. Okay. And this is Lauren's story. I got married to the man of my dreams. As a young divorced woman, let me tell you, this work is not for the weak-hearted. It really takes a lot of guts to show up in such a high value way in the dating process. It really does. I quantum dated till the last moment before one man I was seeing put a ring on my finger and told me he wants to claim me forever. It's the best feeling on the planet. I could have never done this without you, Jules. Thank you so much for your help, Lauren. All right. And countless others. Here's Sandra. Quantum date Jay showed up at my door with these behind his back as a surprise. High class dates, Italian restaurant followed by a jazz cafe, dating for 8 weeks consistently, affectionate and obviously attracted to me, chemistry growing, no sex. I'm doing everything 100% per my comfort level and not overly invested. I am quantum dating, but he keeps booking most of my available time. Yes. After he kissed me passionately at my door and I said goodnight, he looks me square in the eyes and said to me, only you, and then turned and walked down the steps to his car. Good audition, quantum dater Jay. Petra sharing her big news says the best things come to those who wait, including Mr. Right. You've kept me smiling since the day we met and gave me the best little crinkle on my nose. You made it so easy to say yes. I'm a lucky girl and look forward to all of our wonderful adventures ahead. Natalie, OMG, where did all these guys suddenly come from? I have been practicing feminine energy and being happy. I'm experiencing guys hugging, kissing my cheek, invites on dates and holidays, invites from guys. Mind blown. I feel so fulfilled that I do that happy singing, facing thing all the time now. There are countless stories like this from the program, and I want you to be the next one who really just radically turns her love life all the way around. Okay, so book a call with me right now if you're ready to supercharge your manifestation for true love, for your soulmate, to effortlessly attract your dream relationship with an emotionally and energetically balanced, high empowered man. And you're done investing in low level courses that don't give you any results. Okay, you also have a deep desire to not just have an amazing relationship, but also feel a higher level of confidence and happiness in your daily life and become the best version of the goddess that you were born to be, right? And you agree that it is critical to go beyond the quick fix, okay, the quick fix strategies, and really embody and put the tools to work to create life-changing transformation, true transformation. And your work, and maybe you're working with a matchmaker, or you've matched with a matchmaker before, but the matches didn't stick. This isn't about finding you a match, okay? This is not that kind of program. This is about teaching you how to feel completely desirable and magnetic to high quality men without trying so hard to get their attention. Okay, so book a call if you're really ready to expand your capacity for love. Like your nervous system is really ready to expand and heal the wounds of worthiness and self-abandonment and break through your intimacy fears and understand why, you push all the good men away and how to stop it. And you're feeling like, you're just struggling and love is just this struggle, and you're ready to choose differently and really expand your capacity to hold more success in relationship, in love, in wealth, in health. and you want a tangible step-by-step program that helps you move forward towards that goal of attracting your true love. And also you acknowledge that, yeah, you do need a mentor. You need a woman walking the path in front of you who's to show you exactly how to do it. And so I really encourage you to click the link below right now and book a call. I typically have a lot of people on this webinar and the slots fill up really super quickly the next few days. So if this lights you up, click on the link below this video or go to call.soullovealchemy.com. There's one L between soul and love, and fill out a little bit of information in the application. This is just to let me know about you and where you are coming from and what you want to create. And then we'll hop on a call, and I promise you this will be an amazing process for you. Okay. I'm Jules Wong. I'm so excited to have you here listening. I hope this was helpful and transformative for you. Listen, if you're feeling called to this, I urge you to honor your intuition. If you're feeling pulled to it, trust that inner guidance, because that's how God speaks to you. That's that God feeling. That's how the universe touches you. Okay. I'm so excited to actually guide you to your super grand love story. We'll talk soon. Mwah.